when we get audited, it would be a freaking shit show.
Today, we're in Tennessee, visiting Blair with BEC Innovations.
You know, I would love to be retired at 40. Not having to work for money sounds pretty sweet.
This year, the business is on pace to produce $1.7 million in revenue.
What are you dabbling over here in the 1.8 and the 1.9? Like, we're looking at the 3.5 million. Like, where are you at, right? We're over here.
But the company has over $120,000 of credit card debt.
I have done a terrible job selling it. I'm not a good salesperson.
We're gonna have to reset the way the business is built.
This is pretty standard for you, but I'm much more comfortable selling large projects.
Blair had to take a $145,000 HELOC on her house in order for the business to survive. Worse yet, the business checking account has a negative balance. No one wants this business right now. I think we can agree on that.
And she's got her home and her livelihood on the line.
That has no multiple. Like, no one wants to buy a custom build remodeling business.
Hope that was a good idea. You know, I hope that works and it's not gonna cause more problems.
This is the Business Turnaround Show. My name is Mike Andes. I'm the founder of Augusta Lawn Care. We have over 190 locations around the world. And I travel the country fixing struggling businesses. Then it becomes like, how do I market? How do I expand? How do I actually make this happen, get more trucks, etc.?
Right. I mean, it's a little daunting, but you know, everything that I do is a little daunting. I
love it. You're hired.
I'm Blair. I own Beck Innovations. We are a residential remodeling company.
Yeah, so they're doing 1.8 million in revenue this year, but in their kind of working capital checking account, there's negative $300 right now.
What started out as kind of a handyman company has now morphed into much larger projects, more resources that are needed, much more expensive, insurance, you know, all the things.
And across all their accounts, like I think about $17,000 total. And last month they did $177,000 in revenue. So they have approximately 3 days worth of cash flow right now. That's extremely risky.
Because what I've always heard is that the area that we're in right now, which is 1.5, 1.8 million, is kind of hell on small business because you're not a small business. You have the overhead and responsibilities of a bigger business, but you have not the projects and the revenue of a big business. And so it's kind of this like hellscape of the middle.
That's extremely risky. And it sounds like they've already tapped their home equity line of credit, basically took another mortgage out on their house. And so they're already kind of tapping out their ability to be able to stay up with this cash flow problem.
So I would really like to punch through this weird purgatory situation as quickly as possible, and I just kind of don't know how to do that.
The thing that's really interesting is they have this goal of selling the business in 3 days. 3 years. I don't think I've ever had a turnaround where they are that clear, like within 3 years we want to sell the business. So like what I say to them is gonna be completely different. And so what people will always see in these turnarounds is like, why did you say this to one person and this to another person? It seems like they're contrary. It's like, well, no, this person wants to sell their business in 3 years. This person wants to grow their business by 10x over the next 20 years. So like how I approach it will be very, very different. And so for these individuals, the entire lens has to be through, we're trying to sell the business by the time she's 40. That's the goal. All right, well, then we'll work backwards. Like I am not here to tell them what to do in terms of their goals. I work with what their goals are and then we work backwards. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Great.
And what was your name?
I'm Rusty.
Rusty, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And are you doing the admin side of things?
I
or?
am.
Okay, very
Yeah.
cool.
Profitability we're probably doing better than we were last year, which is great because she's been pretty on like track with her goals and how it's all forecasted. Like, so our team has scaled down, but everything else seems to be going up and up, and the calls are coming in. It's not like there's any shortage of like, hey, we got to get people interested in what we're doing here.
Hi,
Hey, Blair,
nice to meet you.
good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Awesome, this is a cool spot. So how much of it is like square foot is the office versus like shop space?
About 1,500 and 2,500.
Cool.
Yeah,
And
so it's pretty decent.
Customers will actually come in here sometimes and
No, we
stuff?
try to not have them come here.
Got it, okay. So usually you're trying to meet them on
Yeah.
site.
Yeah.
Very cool. You want to kind of maybe just show me around a little bit? It's
Sure,
a really
sure.
cool spot.
Let's go this way.
You rent this space?
Yeah, we rent it. So we've got a ton of space out here. We keep all of our project back stock over on this side in a grid system that we've set up. We've got a staging system here for our various jobs. And then pretty much everything out here is tools, random material that somebody said they wanted off of a job site, you know. So we're working on a project right now that is a historical renovation of an exterior and then a bathroom. The siding on this historical house was basically just like melting off. And so we are rebuilding it from the ground up, more or less. So we had to do foundation repair and framing. The roof goes on later this week, and then she gets a brand new bathroom. So all of the tile, all of the waterproofing, fixtures, et cetera, are all staged over here, so they're ready to go. Yeah, so we have really focused on homeowners. We're licensed for commercial, but we prefer working with homeowners. And our favorite areas are historical areas.
Cool. So then this is the back space, kind of all the shop space.
Yep.
And then up front, is it just your office and Rusty's then? Is that
Tosh
kind of
and
the-
Rusty
Okay.
both have offices
So
as well.
Tosh, is she project on projects?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
My name's Tosh. I'm a project manager for Beck Innovations. I like to have fun, pick on each other. You're in the way, dude.
Oh.
We're gonna leave this the same. We're just gonna add blocking here and move these out.
It's already hot. Feel that humidity? We're about to put on some long sleeve shirts.
You know what sounds good? Long sleeve shirts. Where's the thought into that? Hi guys, good morning. Team meeting. To-dos and daily logs, we just went over that. Any questions? Nope, sorry. We're going on to the next.
Work is work until you realize it's not, and you get to do really cool stuff and work with a really cool team. I like being a part of bigger things as far as like connecting to people.
So how did you kind of get into it?
Accident.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you do your own project and you're like, I'll make a business of it?
No. So we have, the closest thing to a hobby we've ever had is renovating our own house, and so we moved into this neighborhood with a bunch of people who don't know how to work on their houses. So that was my way of forcing my husband to go meet people, was by, hey, go get like a 6-pack of beer and like go help your neighbor and whatever. And then it was like, oh, maybe we should charge like something. And then it was like, oh, maybe we should like get licensed and like have a business and all the things. So, and now here we are.
And this was her, her baby and her business, and she's got her home and her livelihood on the line for all of these, 7 families who work here. Supporting her in that and trying to implement things and her trusting you to do that, and you're hoping hope that was a good idea, I hope that works and it's not gonna cause more problems.
What were you doing beforehand?
I worked in corporate construction.
Okay, so this is already something you've been doing for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Very
No,
cool.
we've both been in construction for over 15 years each.
Got it. And is he working the business as well?
Yeah.
Okay. And is he out in the field with the team? What's his sort of role?
Yeah, so he's a field tech. He wants nothing to do with the management of the business. He is smarter than the rest of us and wants to go home and go to sleep at night.
Okay, very good. Good stuff.
Blair has literally cut her teeth in starting a new business in this field and then growing it. Majority of people would assume, oh, a woman's just gonna fail because they don't own this industry. But then when you really put it into terms, it's like, nah, dog, she's got this dialed in.
Is it 4 team members in the field? Like
3, but we're
Okay.
interviewing another person, so we're trying to figure out if it's gonna be number 4.
Got
and
it.
one of our guys is about to leave at the end of August for 6 weeks because he's going on tour.
Wow.
So we're trying to there's a lot happening.
As far as the airlock goes, if y'all are going in and out a lot, we can leave this unzipped as long as we shut the doors.
Okay.
Right? And then we can just zip this one. Yeah, I've been here for like 2 years or something. It's good, man. I'm still here. So a lot of turnover in this industry, but it's good people, man.
And then last year was 1.2. This year expecting like what? 1.
Last year was 1.5.
Okay.
And this year we're hoping for 1.8. We're a little bit behind.
Okay. 1.7, 1.8, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Kind of what's that flow? Like, are you on sales and that gets handed over to Rusty once project management? What's kind of the flow between people?
So I manage business development, sales, etc. So I'll manage pre-construction, and then we'll hand it off to our project management team, which is Tosh, and she's already on site.
I really want to work with a team that cares, not only cares about homeowners and care about what we're installing, because I feel like that gets lost a lot of the time. It's especially in production, it's just like a blow and go. You go in, you get it done, you get out, and you're just like, I'm done. You have to have a passion for this, and you have to care. And yeah, I feel like I found the niche, the team.
And Rusty and Tosh manage kind of the financials and the project and the process and all that stuff.
This was the yard sign that we'll put in.
That looks like a caution sign.
It's supposed to what's going on at that house. And we hang this up because we had a project where the neighbor wasn't too pleased with some of our subs.
There's this glowing sign behind me that has a QR scan on it that this is very recent, actually. It was like, we need to come up with a way to not only brand ourselves, but also, look, if there's a mess or if we're causing problems, if we're the stir, go over here and take your phone, QR code, scan it, and let us know.
So this is an immediate, not only another happy customer, but it's like, and you can contact them if you're not happy with anything without having to disturb your neighbor, or maybe you didn't know them.
Yeah.
Do you ever come back on job site or like?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So
Yeah.
sales, but then kind of also wrapping up the project. I'm assuming kind of just making throughout the project things are going
The goal is to, make sure that we are delivering what we promised we were.
well. And how many of the projects are custom? Like a lot of the bathroom.
100.
arena- Okay, so everything's custom. Got it.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times you're going in, you're doing a design. That whole process is.
So sometimes we work with third-party designers,
Okay.
frequently, really. But one of the things that we're talking about doing is hiring someone who is sales and design, possibly combined, call them a pre-construction specialist, so that I can remove myself from that portion of the business.
Got it. I'm assuming that's pretty difficult to find though, because they have to have the skill of actually looking at the job and knowing what to do.
Right, I mean, but I'm such an analytical person. I've taught myself how to work with people's ideas and thoughts and everything else with the constructability standpoint. So it can be taught, but it's always like a question like, what is the next step?
Right. Like you don't have anything to sell if the business can't run without the owner. And right now the owner is, both the owners are in operations and admin sales. The business is not built on systems and it doesn't have recurring revenue. It's basically worthless. And then your goal is really to sell the business in like 3-4 years. What's sort of that like goal? Because I want to work backwards from that, because that changes kind of everything in terms of what I would give an opinion.
I mean, that's like a pipe dream.
Okay.
I would love to be retired at 40, but that's probably not realistic.
And so is that a number that you want to hit for? Like by 40, I want to be retired? Is that sort
I
of
would
the goal?
love that, yeah.
Okay. All right, so 3 years, that's 3 years from now?
Yeah, it's kind of a pipe dream. I don't know if I'll actually be able to like, but not having to work for money sounds pretty sweet.
The business is not built on systems and it doesn't have recurring revenue. It's basically worthless. And I'm gonna try to say it in the nicest way possible, but if you're trying to sell the business right now, it is worth nothing. And so if you're gonna change it in the next 3 years, we've got to really, really focus on the thing that seems to be working half decent, which is this recurring revenue package. Tell me a little bit about the home team side of things. So what is that? I looked on the website, it's $99 a month subscription. It's a kind of like inspections each month, quarter. What does that look like?
So it's preventative maintenance. We provide, filter change outs, all of the like maintenance stuff that you should be doing on your home that most homeowners don't do because they don't know how. And so we come in quarterly. It's $100 a month. We just come in March, June, September, and December and handle seasonal stuff, cleaning gutters, like all that stuff.
When I got here, that was when I was learning about Blair's business model. I was like, oh, that's cool, like a subscription service for maintenance. Like, okay, like why didn't anyone else think of that?
A former employee's husband just kind of like randomly came up with it. It was like, oh my God, that's perfect.
And I'm always like kind of expecting in my experience in sales and that they're, hey, what is this again? Like, I haven't seen you in 2 months, like out of sight, out of mind. So I'm surprised that they love it. And if they get behind or like, we just want to, like, please don't cancel, we want to catch up, so it's like, you're fine.
And how many customers are on that now? Do you know?
14.
Okay, so it's relatively new, or has it just been kind of on the side?
It's not new, but I have done a terrible job selling it. I'm not a good salesperson.
Okay.
And I've challenged Paul to like sell more
Is he
of it.
one of the technticans?
Yeah.
Got it.
He's our handyman.
Got
So
it.
he's kind of the face of this side of our business.
I haven't seen anyone go all in on it. They are already, it's working for them right now. Like if on their website, like they're pushing it and it sounds like it's working. And is there someone dedicated to that division directly, or is it kind of like, hey, once a quarter we kind of send the crew out and knock out those 14 houses?
We just have Paul do it. Yep.
Okay.
So he schedules his own stuff, and we use Calendly. We're getting into some other like software CRM stuff that'll help with some of that.
But those 14 customers, it doesn't make him full-time doing just the home
Correct.
things. Got it. He's on other projects doing handyman stuff, etc.
Correct.
From like handyman to renovations versus like home team, which is a smaller piece of it. What's the kind of like the breakdown of revenue?
Last year we had around 75,000 in handyman.
Okay.
That included
The home team.
The home team.
Got it.
And then everything else was construction.
Most people though they say, well, it's not really working. But then like you look at their website, their advertising, what they upsell customers, and they don't even mention it. It's like a side thought. It's like, oh, it only makes up 10% of our revenue. But if people actually realize that that 10% of revenue that's making, let's just call it $20,000 or $30,000 a month, has greater value than the $200,000 a month of one-off projects that you're doing. And if you're trying to sell the business and optimize for a sale, you would focus more on that recurring side of the business. And so I just want to get them to focus on that. Even if the business does $1 million or 1.2 million in straight recurring revenue, that will have a higher valuation than a business that's 2 or 3 or 4 million in these one-off remodels, projects, new builds, etc.
Hey everyone, real quick, just wanted to say thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate it. I'm out on a hike, it's on the weekend, but I want to say thank you so much for all of your support. Those inside of Augusta Nation that join Copilot CRM, that join Home Service Web Design is really what makes these turnaround shows possible. We fly the whole team out there. There's no cost to the business owner, and it's all because of the community support. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Now back to the episode.
It's one-off income. It's no guarantee that revenue coming back. But if you can build up this one thing they got going on, which is this recurring maintenance, where you go, it's $100 a month, like a subscription. I'd rather sub out all this one-off massive installs and remodels and then just focus on that. Because right now, doing complex renovations and new builds, no one's paying a multiple on that. Right now, it's very hinging on your ability to sell designs, custom work, and that's challenging to hand off to someone else in terms of a sale. And so if that's the goal, I would really be like, okay, how do we restructure this around the home team and really emphasizing on that? And that could be a function also of just like, how do we upsell existing customers in our database into this home team thing? How many people right now are in the database? Like just from years of history, like, is that 1,000? How many customers, like contacts do we have in there?
Probably 750.
Do you think most of them we pitch the home team kind of service, or is that it's been just not really emphasized much to them?
I don't think that we have done a good job selling it to them at all. So Paul is running handyman. So we are increasing his handyman responsibilities.
The handyman service, like the recurring one, is that what you're talking about?
No, so that's in addition. So handyman, they just hire us for blocks of 2 hours, but every quarter we do preventative maintenance.
And then usually when someone does sign up for it, is it after their renovation or their project and like, oh, it'd just be nice for you guys to check things out once in a while?
No, so most of the time, these are people who are hearing from other people who have been on the subscription package, or they are people who are handyman clients and they're like, you know, Paul's talking to him like, hey, you're paying $275 for 2 hours, whereas you could get this amount of work and more on the home team for $1,200 a year, you know?
Paul is a salesman. Like he is always, I think he was trying to sign you up, but he's always wanting to mention it and he's always mentioning to people.
Have you ever considered rebranding to the home team?
Yeah, so we've kind of stopped for our small projects. We're trying to not call this handyman. We're trying to call them small projects. And then anything for the small projects, we're trying to call that home team as opposed to Beck Innovations. Beck Innovations feels like, somebody said to me one time, it seems like you're building skyscrapers with a name like that.
Right, yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, we want to be approachable. We want like people to feel comfortable calling us and, you know, doing all the things. And so part of it is just the softness of the name, I guess, but it's not super memorable either.
Blair already has the foundational pieces to rebrand the business to something that's much more memorable. I happen to think that the home team, this brand could be really strong if it was put on the trucks, if the logo was changed. I don't know what BEC Innovations does, but the home team, this is memorable. This is something that customers will remember and their neighbors will remember, the community will remember this if I plaster this all over my truck. Yeah, I really like the home team. And leaning in, even like the font leaning into like the baseball jersey kind of collegiate vibe, very memorable. The home team. It also is like, I'm on the home team. Like there's so much slogans you could do all over it. And then I think it lends more towards the handyman, the simpler services, the subscription side, which is more sellable. The project side, I think there's a really easy way to like, okay, let's figure out your funnel and your sales process and grow this thing to 5 million. I also then say, okay, if you want to sell in, this is called 3 to 5 years even, that has no multiple. Like no one wants to buy a custom build remodeling business because there's not any longevity of that revenue. I have no guarantee that someone's gonna come back to me. And if I lose 2 or 3 technicians, I'm out of business. When I hear the goal of the entrepreneur as I want to sell the business, I think, how do I increase the amount of people that could buy this business? If you only can sell this to 5 people in your local market that have this kind of industry experience, you're not gonna get top dollar. But if you make the business in a way that is, quote, simple and boring, then you're able to sell it to anyone that has enough money. And therefore the valuation goes through the roof. And so focusing on simple, boring things makes money when it comes to valuations and selling the business down the road. And because that's her goal, that's what I'm building towards. I would be hesitant to keep scaling what's currently happening if we're trying to sell the business.
Okay.
Because the only buyer that can come along is someone that has your experience.
Yeah.
Which is difficult.
Yeah.
Like we just like narrowed our buyer pool by like 99%.
Right.
Versus we build a business where it's like, hey, you need to come in here with capital. And if you want to take us from 5 trucks to 20 trucks, here's the path. And we have the subscription and every single month it's been growing and our churn rate is this. That becomes a very sellable business. And your multiple is probably 2 to 3 times more on that compared to a construction project-based jobs situation. Then the challenge becomes focus on that versus growing top line. Because growing top line looks like you having a salesperson, you having another project manager, you probably getting very, very good at like the sales process of big projects. And if we're going the direction of, let's call it small projects and the home team, very different business model. This becomes a marketing and sales play. This becomes much more like we go out and we are trying to get 750 people to convert 200 of them into this plan. That's $20,000 a month. Yeah, it's only 10% of revenue, but that revenue, that 20 grand of revenue a month in recurring is worth more from a sale perspective than $200,000 in one-time projects.
Yep.
And so that's the part where it's like, okay, which way do we want to go? And if the sale is what we're optimizing for, I would just be like, okay, we're gonna have to reset the way the business is built.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little daunting, but you know, everything that I do is a little daunting, you know? So it's like, you know, something, we've got to start somewhere, next right step.
Yeah.
And trying to make progress and not worry about perfection.
From a subs perspective, you do some of that now, right?
Oh yeah.
Do you feel pretty confident in your subs? Like that you could lean on them quite a bit? Or like as right now it's like, hey, they're decent at some parts, but like we've got to kind of fill in the gaps.
We do,
Okay.
yeah. So, I mean, that's been a big push for this year is adding to our bench.
I think that looks really interesting in the long run if we can lean more on the subs for doing of the work, and then we become the person that facilitates the home team and we make sure everything is up to spec. It's up to our standards.
We kind of knew in the background, you know, it's like, we don't know if these subs are gonna work out for us or not. And then you start saying like, yeah, we're surpassing them. I think you got a little glimpse of that in the meeting today.
There's 40% are kind of coloring outside the lines a little bit.
I called them out when they were using the wrong caulking on Darby.
The painters.
Yes. I noticed that quick.
So then it becomes, well, how many subs do we need in this area?
And then it becomes much more of a systems game. It's like, hey, if you're on the home team, here's the point checklist that we go through. And if there's problems with one of these, we will go find one of our vendors, we will do the work, and we will bill you. That makes more sense to me in terms of trying to sell it.
I think like the hardest part of this in this industry, gaining the buy-in from subcontractors, and we're on the same team as you, because all they are extensions of Beck Innovations. So we have to be very intentional about the subs. That's been a very hard part.
The challenging part sometimes with this is the staff that you currently have going into that model. And like what the transition looks like, right? Because even right now, like I think it could take 3 years to transition most of your revenue from 1.7, 1.8 of what we currently do to, let's just call it 1.5, but all of it's recurring.
Yeah, I do wonder if some of the repetitive tasks that come with, doing the same thing for a month at a time, and some of those things might get kind of boring. A lot of these guys really like variety. They love being on different kinds of projects and seeing different clients and all the things. So there might be some repetitive nature with that, but I think that selling additional services would be something that would keep them kind of engaged, incentivizing towards additional sales.
Where do you see kind of like the holes in that strategy?
And my fear is I am not comfortable selling that thing, and I know that lawn care is kind of a similar situation where you guys sell lawn maintenance and all the other things, and so this is pretty standard for you, but I'm much more comfortable selling large projects because it's like, okay, here's the path that we follow, et cetera, et cetera. My concern is finding people who are interested in it or want to proceed. Even as a consumer, I hate recurring bills. Maybe I'm not the norm. If that's a concern for some people, how do we fix that? If it's not a concern for some other people, how do we play that up?
The 14 people that have currently purchased the $100 a month, have they stuck around for a long time?
Yes.
So there is a market for it, but I think from what I'm hearing, it's like, we don't really emphasize it. It's kind of just been on the side.
Yeah.
Okay, I think one way to kind of prove to yourself whether or not it works or not is just simply messaging all of your existing database. I would have guessed, if I had to imagine, out of 750, maybe 50 or 100 of them have even heard about what the home team offers. It's just a function of educating the customer as to why this is a better option than waiting for the heater to break down. And so it becomes a marketing play.
Our team has been very receptive to the changes that Tasha's brought in, that Blair's come in, crazy ideas like social media. We did a big 5-year anniversary party, so it's like anything you want them to do in a video. So pushing this and leaning heavily into home team, I think is a great idea.
And so if we're optimizing for the sale, that's where I'm just like, okay, can we get 500 people in your service area to accept this service? We've only done 14.
Yeah.
Can we get 50 to 100? Though, if we really dial down, what does that offer? What is the offer? What does it include? Even if you surveyed, like, I would go to the 14 customers that have done it for a long time, like, what do you like most about this? And then just double down on that in terms of how we then pitch it to the 750 people in our database. Those 14 customers will tell us what to pitch to their 750.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what our clients will want. You know, right now we go to a lot of showrooms and stuff like that, trying to show people different options and all that, so that wouldn't change. And so we'll see how clients will receive that, I guess.
A couple things I had questions about. So right now we have a couple looming things. One is the rent and like this facility.
Yep.
The next is just from a liquidity perspective. Like, we have the credit card debt, we have the HELOC. How tight are we? Because I'm trying to figure out how we actually focus on the new recurring side of things and where we need to go. And then we have this whole shop space thing, how we can solve that. But a lot of it comes down to the fact that we have a bit of a liquidity crunch in terms of just cash available. There's hardly any money in the bank. They kind of have this profit first mentality where they have some cash set aside for taxes and other things. But even if you combine all of that together, it's on $18,000 that I see on the balance sheet. That's not a lot for a business that it did almost $200,000 in revenue last month. And what's worse is their kind of working capital, the checking account, has a negative balance of $300 from the balance sheet that I'm looking at. We have about $125 on credit card debt and then about $145 on HELOC. I'm just trying to figure out where is the liquidity going to come from, and like how much space we have when it comes to the shop space and just like the future.
We're really trying to like stash cash away. We've been adding to those accounts pretty regularly over the last couple months. But yeah, we've got to start making some progress on those debt pieces, were, you know, all those bits.
What's the monthly cost right now on the HELOC? Because it's probably just interest only.
About $900.
Okay, not so bad. Question of whether or not it is good or bad to use a home equity line of credit in the business really comes down to your personal risk tolerance. Bottom line, if you have a home equity line of credit and you're using it on the business, if something goes wrong in the business, you still have that debt against your house. The positive part is that you can pay it off as time goes on. Usually the interest rate is really low because you are securing your house as the collateral, but it's also very risky. And then on the credit card, approximately, what's that, do you know?
So we pay the minimum, which is like 35-ish.
Do you know how much the interest is on that though?
I think it's around $2,200.
You can see this by the fact they have $125,000 on an American Express and they're paying $2,000 to $3,000 a month in just interest. On the other hand, they have a home equity line of credit for $145,000 and they're only paying $900 a month in interest. This is the difference between the interest rate that you're gonna spend on a credit card, 15 to 20%, versus a home equity line of credit, which might be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8% in comparison to a credit card. Are we tapped on the HELOC and the credit card? Like, those can't really go up anymore?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, makes sense. I just want to kind of go through some of the areas of opportunity in each of these, and then we'll kind of create a game plan for moving forward. From a liquidity perspective, when we look at like just money in the bank, the 4L framework shows the 4 reasons why every business will stop growing. Either there's a lack of liquidity, cash, there's a lack of leads, there's a lack of labor, or a lack of leadership. And this cycle continues as the business grows. In order to get to the next level of business, you've got to conquer each one. I think there is a bit of a cash crunch on just the cash side. And then we have the credit cards and the HELOC, which again, like, I know it can seem like bad, but I've also been in the place of growing from 1 million to 1.5. it's a cash suck. I do not necessarily warrant doing this, but it is certainly something I have used when I was in the same stage, when I had equity in the house. It's like, I gotta use it. Like, if the business goes down, I'm going bankrupt. So I might as well use the home equity that I do have to try to get the business to work. And so I'm not saying don't use it, just know that you are increasing the amount of risk, because if something bad happens to the business, now your house is on the line. More overhead, you have less technicians, your technician to in-house admin staff is a worse ratio because you're trying to scale.
Yeah.
So there's waste. So please don't take that as bad.
No,
it's a solvable problem.
Yeah.
So from a liquidity, a cash perspective, we have a bit of a crunch. This is a huge constraint to growth because when it comes to liquidity on the 4L framework, I want to have at least 1 month of revenue in the bank account. This allows me to grow the business and not feel the stress and the constraint of liquidity. And that would be like $150,000, $200,000 of cash in the bank. And we're a long ways away from that with a negative bank balance. The credit cards and HELOCs are tapped, which, okay, that adds up. So these are tapped. Okay, from a leads perspective, right now, what does that look like? I know you're not spending on marketing, that's great. We've got leads coming in. How far are we booked out on the project side?
2.5 months.
How does it come in? Usually just from like on your website, or people calling in? Where's the lead?
So we have really been focusing on our Google reviews.
Yep.
And so all of a sudden we're moving up because of our 65, 60, however
69.
many. Yeah.
That looks really good.
Google reviews.
Yeah, I went through this morning.
But those are not qualified people who want to talk to us. You know, those are traditionally people who have no belief in what we're doing or anything like that. So while they're valuable, they are not like qualified.
So the most qualified you're saying is referrals?
Yeah.
Got it. And that's someone calling you like, hey, I'm not getting bids. I just want you to come do the work because so-and-so said you were great.
Yeah, my neighbor, this person said that this project went great and I want you to come look at this and hopefully we can make it work.
We just had this conversation on the Monday meeting that you guys weren't a part of. And it was, what else could we offer our customers? That's important. Branding is so important. And our team that stands behind it is what really pushes the aspect of what we're doing. That's how the word of mouth is happening.
Are we doing anything in terms of incentives, social media, anything to kind of make that happen more? Or are you just so tapped with work right now, you're like, we don't really focus on it?
We try to stay in front of people. You know, we post maybe like 4 times a month on social media. But I mean, nothing is like planned or, you know, it's Rusty and I just kind of flinging things out there. Okay. About once a quarter, we send an email blast like, hey, here are quarterly maintenance items that should be done. Oh, and if this is too much, then here's our home team product, you know, something like that. So.
Okay, so once a quarter we're doing email blast, and then social media is kind of hit and miss, but we do post. Mm-hmm. Okay. Right now, the home team is sending out email or text message maybe once a quarter, and it seems kind of random. I want to create a calendar of events for every single month of the year based upon the season, based upon holidays, based upon the baseball season in the calendar, and create a reason to contact the customer. January, February, March, each month of the year, text and email. By doing that, I'll upsell more of my existing customers that have done one-time projects, that's 750 people in the database, into the home team package and that recurring revenue model. And then from a labor perspective, we have 4 people in the field right now? 3 laborers. In the 4L framework, the next constraint is labor. And when it comes to labor in BEC Innovations, I don't think it's the biggest problem, but certainly an opportunity for the future. I said today there's a really good labor. It sounds like you're hiring a 4th one.
We are interviewing him tomorrow.
Where's the line where like, okay, we need a 5th one? What line are you trying to cross there?
I don't really know. I think it's kind of like, can this person add to our revenue? Can this person add to our profitability? Can they bring in more money than what they're charging us? Like, you know, where is that balance? Right. And I don't really know.
What I've come to find with our team, it is a small but mighty team. There's a lot of knowledge that's at the table between Cody and Paul and Gabe, and then myself included.
You'll put supports at an angle just to get it in place, and then slide in a stud pack, do a temporary stud pack, put it on a bottle jack.
Usually the doors, you got a double stud, right? If they're right on it, usually they'll add another 3rd block just to
get it away
avoid
from
the door casing.
That's what I was asking, like, do you want the fitting and then sweat it, or are you sweating into the fitting?
No, so this drop here, get it drop here.
I'm not around, but I want it to be no different when you guys are there.
Yeah.
You got plenty of space.
Yeah, like this is gonna be outside of the entire width of the van.
You know, we all have a particular portion of the business that kind of brings all the brain food to the table, right?
Do we track anything in terms of like labor revenue per employee or anything like that? Okay, great. What is that now?
150,000-ish.
Oh, okay, got it, perfect. Yeah. So about 150K
per employee per year. And I'm assuming that means that includes...
That's current, like as of now.
Got it.
So hopefully by the end of the year, that will be closer to 250.
And when you say that, are you saying that is revenue or labor revenue?
Revenue total.
Got it. Revenue total. So 150, we're trying to shoot for that $250,000 of revenue per employee, and that would be team members out in the field? Okay, so technicians, great. As the company scales, it will be difficult to find people that are willing and able to do all these different aspects of home improvement. These handymen, they're expensive, they're hard to find.
So the efficiency overall in that aspect would be, are we utilizing our technicians? There's only 3. And if we don't, you're definitely gonna see it in a small business. We've tried it once before. We're like, yeah, this is not that bad. It's just a couple of pieces of drywall and finish. Man, we crashed and burned on that project. It was like, we don't have not only the capacity or the capability to do so. So yeah, you just have to be cognizant of our guys and the ability of such and using our strengths to our advantages.
But if I can simplify what they need to know, I'm able to create a system by which I take a lower level employee and make them very valuable. And then anything else, I'm able to subcontract and still get a margin on that work by being the resource that the customer knows, likes, and trusts to get the right subcontractor on their property. Yeah, like I would love it to be where we have as time goes on, we really iron out how much revenue does each team member make before we hire another person. And once we are booked out X amount of time in the backlog, then we hire another person. And making it very systematized in terms of, we know we start breaking even when someone makes over $140,000 or $150,000. Ideally, if we could get down to what's the labor revenue per employee, like how much do they actually produce because they exist versus just marking up a whole bunch of materials. If we can get that number and then figure out what's our break even on per employee, then we'll be able to figure out, okay, when do we hire a 5th person? When do we hire a 6th person? Like, where are those thresholds? And where are we profitable and when we're not profitable?
And there for a while, I'm like, it's more important to find a 4th person. But it really isn't. It's the equal stance with a subcontractor and the 4th technician. So 3 technicians, as I've looked at you, and I'm like, yeah, you have to play on the strengths that we have, meaning it makes more sense for our guys to install the smaller things like plumbing, electrical, HVAC, leave the big stuff for bigger crews. That's why we've hired a handful of subcontractors to come in to do the bigger jobs. They knock it out a lot faster.
When you go do estimates, is it mostly using hourly rate that you're working with? Got it. And is that ranging, I'm guessing a handyman is lower, projects more, but like, was it $100 an hour, 150?
Hall bills at roughly $137 per hour.
Okay.
On handyman, I build budgets at $55, $60.
So his efficiency is around 50% of his time on the job because we're billing at 60, okay, got 137. Okay, that makes sense. Right now, I don't see a huge problem with their current pricing and the fact that most of their time is spent on the job site earning $137 an hour. That's not bad. And it's gonna be highly skilled people that are doing these jobs, and that's why like $40, $50 an hour is gonna be what you're paying someone to do this type of work. But if I can keep that person out in the field doing 7, 8 budget hours worth of work in a regular day, very efficient. I don't think labor is the biggest constraint here. It will become the constraint as they begin to grow the business because they'll have to dial in the systems for what each individual maintenance tech needs to know and what each individual project manager needs to know as the business scales. But for now, changing the business model is the most important thing. From a leadership perspective, right now, in terms of like systems, et cetera, what are you doing? Because I know one of the things you said, you're like, there's not enough time in a day. And like when I hear that, I know what that's like, and I want to prevent that at all costs. I understand the need to always stay busy and that like I'm never gonna retire, but she's obviously burnt out in this industry and burnt out what she's currently doing, whether it be creatively burnt out or time-wise she feels stretched or financially she's tired of not having any money in the bank account, all of which are reasonable. Bottom line, let's make the business profitable. You will have options. And that's why like I always say money solves everything, although it is tongue-in-cheek and a little bit on the nose. It's a matter of like, if this business makes more money, she can do other things, whether it is spending more time with her family, whether it is going and painting and doing music. I don't care what, like I just know if you make more money, those things will become options. And right now, she has no time to even think about those things, and that's what leads to burnout. And so what do you see as a constraint right now in terms of creating systems and delegation? Is it simply like, hey, we have financial pressure and I know what this feeling is like. I cannot afford to let someone else do this because we do not have the money. Is it more of that, or is it a matter of like, how do I systematize this so I can hand it off to somebody?
My concern right now is how do I systematize it? What do normal people who are not me need in order to be successful in a position like the one that I'm in, or one of the positions I'm in?
Right. Do you find it hard to delegate once you have a system in place?
No.
Is that ever a problem?
No.
Okay.
I have heard that there are times where rather than explaining how I want something done, I'll just go do it and say, this is what happened, as opposed to talking them through it and teaching and all the things.
Right. Does Rusty want to come out here? Can Rusty hear me? It's a no comment situation. That's fair.
No, I'll input.
Come on out. Come on out.
Are we analyzing your management?
Yes.
Hey, thanks so much for watching the video. Real quick, I wanted to invite you to a private event that I'm hosting online at mikeandys.com/Black Friday. That's right, it's on Black Friday. It's gonna be a live stream that includes a whole bunch of training that I've been working on for over a year. It's gonna be completely free for the first 500 people that sign up. So go to mikeandys.com/Black Friday, sign up for the registration, and there's also 3 massive announcements that I haven't even shared with my team that I'm gonna be sharing at the end of that live stream. So you'll definitely wanna be there. mikeandys.com/Black Friday. We'll see you there. You take all the phone calls, emails, run pay, all admin related things. I see a lot that is being burdened by Blair in terms, when I say burden, I mean like taking on a lot. And so my first thing is, how do I deconstrain the entrepreneur to be able to think about other things? Because right now we have no capacity to think about home team. When you see her have that constraint and then needing to be able to delegate, where do you usually see that breakdown in terms of her ability to be like, hey Rusty, this is how to do X, Y, and Z, go for it. Is there a breakdown there, or is like that pretty smooth?
I don't know, it's kind of half and half. The non-delegation comes from like, things have been delegated, this needs to be done now, so I'm gonna do it because it's more of a time-sensitive matter than, you know, I'm just gonna do a little bit of everyone's job. You know, Blair got a lot that she's trying to do, and it wasn't an issue of not wanting to delegate. It was, I've always thought, it was like, I don't think she's real sure what to. Especially with me, the administrator, being so closely involved in the business aspect of it. It's a unique position to be in when it's like, do we hire more people? When the team we have now, she's wearing many hats, I'm wearing many hats. So I think that's the breakdown in delegation. So I don't think you have an issue actually delegating, dishing it out.
I have a feeling there's a lot more under the hood here. And although there wasn't a lot of talk about her having problems with delegation, I personally, from what limited time I spent with her, I feel like delegating, trusting other people, and not micromanaging them is gonna be a hard thing for her to figure out. A lot of times this is very common when you have custom work and projects that the owner has to get involved in every single job. She's involved in every job, the sales process, the walkthroughs, etc. And if that's the case, I almost can guarantee you there's gonna be a lot of trouble handing that off to other people without micromanaging and trusting them to do a good job. Do you see a lot of crossover though between like what your role is responsible for and then versus like her sometimes like, hey, is that mine? Is that yours? Who gets this done? Or is it like, hey, it's a kind of like, we gotta get this out the door, so whoever can get to it, gets it to it.
Yeah, it's also my first year. So working this closely with her in this first year, she's been doing my job and her job. It's been a lot of kind of like learning, building trust, figuring out exactly who should be doing what. The last year, it's been a lot of focus on processes and the synergy of our team. You know, Tosh comes with a lot of construction. I come with a lot of administrative experience. So when we all got here and to support Blair's vision, it's us bringing all this experience and these ideas to make these processes work together and flow. So exactly what he said, we've said to her before about like, you need to be focused on like scaling this business, driving this business, and we'll do all the operational stuff.
Talk about someone who eats, breathes, lives, sleeps, sweats. You know, it's a constant. Blair absolutely does that. And probably in a subconscious mind, she's asleep thinking about Beck Innovations. It's like, what can we do for our customers?
Before Rusty came along, were you taking the phone calls? Like doing all the admin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not doing the admin. No, we had someone else.
Okay.
But she hated answering the phone, so I had to answer the phone.
That's a problem for admin.
It's a bit of a problem.
Okay.
So there was some stuff there, yeah.
And then from your perspective, Rusty, when it comes to the actual business, like the home team versus the bigger projects, do you think the 14 customers that we currently have for the home team, what's sort of like their response to the subscription? What do they like? What do they not like?
from your perspective as people that call in or might have complaints, etc.?
I haven't really received any complaints. I'm seeing that they are really taking advantage of the don't have to think about it. They are really liking the convenience of not having to worry about it. It's like you're a homeowner, but you have maintenance. And that's what they treat it like. We'll get a text or an email or a call, and it's like, hey, something's broke, when can Paul come? It's like, well, send him over, this, that, and the other. I've had clients say, he's like a member of the family. We keep a running Paul to-do list. We all just talk about Paul because he's going to be here once a quarter. So
He got invited to a client's baby shower.
That's baby shower. Whoa. Okay, I was thinking something okay.
Like
great,
we
let's
weren't
go.
invited.
No,
That's
but
great.
But he was.
That's awesome. I saw Paul's name mentioned a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a very unique relationship with Paul. The feedback I'm getting from clients about Paul's just a member of our family and seeing him getting invited to stuff, it's like, Paul, and it's like, oh, you little Casanova, because all these old women are like, when's Paul coming back over? When's Paul coming back over? Or they'll see the van out and they'll call he's next door. Is there any way you can come over today? And I'm like, no, not today, but we can get you on the calendar. I help him a lot with his scheduling, but he's really doing a lot of the face-to-face and the interactions. He is really, really, really good, but it's we're not tapping into him fully. We are not using him to his fullest because not only is he great at selling it, but he's really good at the client relationship.
Paul does a ton of work with selling this and everything, so he's excited, he's ready to go, and we just want to set him up to do his thing.
Again, really no complaints, but I don't have a lot of people calling and canceling either.
Right. So if someone wants to sign up for that, is it $99 across the board, or does it change based upon the house and things like that?
$100 a month.
Got it.
He goes through each quarter to show you, and then when he comes to do a visit, he checks off and he makes any notes. And this gets loaded, so I can show you every time he came what he did. And it's also a selling point of if you ever have any insurance claims of homeowners about a refrigerator or a water heater, you have proof that you've maintained it. So warranties, can't be voided.
He's going through a list of stuff. If he finds something that this is a bigger project, I'm assuming it's hey, this needs to get fixed. Here's the additional quote for that. Is that how
Well,
it
if
works?
you have a unique situation, we offer to, drain your water heater every quarter, but your water heater is a special filter that normally a filter costs us $20, so this filter's gonna cost. I think that's more customizable that Paul would then say, well, this water filter is included as part of the core service that we're offering. Because if there's a unique circumstance for your home, like your range or your water heater or your, that is built in the beginning. So it's not well, you're outside of our scope is what we not offer to everyone else. It's no, the service is designed for your home particularly. So it's not we're just doing these things, and if they apply to your home, then great. So it's customized. We're offering a discount on anything that goes beyond just regular routine. He's checked your dryer vent, he's checked your gutters, he's done this. If you have something extra, we had a lady, she had some art needing to be hung. One lady had an issue with a door frame she needed stained. Something like that, Paul would come and say, I can do that in 2 hours, it'll be a level 1 handyman, but you get a discount for being a home team member.
Perfect. I really like this new thing. Okay, all right. I think down the road, this leadership problem might pop up, but for now, I've got to focus on the rebrand and figure out more recurring revenue. But down the road, if this begins to scale, if we really start to figure out a lot of these things, we've got to get Blair to spend more of her time figuring out systems and procedures and delegating instead of doing the actual work. And as the business grows, if you're doing $1.8 million in revenue and you're still out doing the work, that's a problem. We need to be able to migrate as the business grows from doing the work, labor, in order to then being a manager of other laborers, and then eventually being the architect, the person that steps back from the building and actually figures out the points of stress and how to improve the processes. And right now, at a $1.8 million business, Blair's spending hardly any time in the architect role. She's constantly a manager and even sometimes still a laborer. I think there's a lot you could do with this. So I think one of the things is your pricing using the subscription, so incentivizing it very heavily. So for example, right now you have projects. I'm not saying we should cut them out. I say we should increase the prices by 20%, unless you are part of the subscription, you're part of the home team. Because if you're part of the home team, you get 20% off. By doing this, I think 100% of people are going to accept this new package and get more recurring revenue coming into the business. So then by doing this, I'm incentivizing the home team subscription. And I'm selling it every single step of the journey. And because we're so confident in the value of the subscription, yes, there'll be someone that will 1 or 2 months and then cancel. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's our current prices anyways. Who cares?
Right.
Better yet though, we know if the value's there and customers love it and they're doing this to-do list thing, we can keep 80, 90% of them for a long time.
Yep.
And like the goal, as Alex Hormozi says, like make an offer so good they feel stupid saying no to. And you gotta be stupid to save $5,000 and spend $1,200. And as long as they produce a great service and get the customer in the door, they might keep that customer 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, and that's a valuable business that's sellable. I think if we do that over the next 3 years, that looks very interesting from like what percentage of our revenue is recurring versus this one-off stuff that is very much custom. What I'm looking for is where are all the points where we get Home Team to be the main go-to. The other part of that is after the job is done. So like on walkthroughs, if someone does not take us up on that, we're trying to pitch them again. For any customer that does not accept the Home Team package in the sales process, during the walkthrough with the customer, I'm gonna be highlighting the value of that package and that recurring subscription to try to get even more people to sign up then. So whether that incentivizing the team, the technicians that are on site, or if you're being there, because like these are big projects. So I'm assuming you're usually going back and doing the walkthrough?
No, Tosh handles them,
Okay.
and I'll come in if we need to.
Okay, so Tosh, let's just say it's Tosh or yourself doing the walkthroughs. We're also trying to upsell the customer into these packages.
Yep.
Not only will subscribers of the Home Team package get 20% off their original project, they'll also get 20% off any future services from the company, 20%. So it makes a lot of sense to sign up for the Home Team package. If you sign up for Home Team, you get 20% off. That looks very appealing to a homeowner. There's so much value there.
Yeah.
And so I think then our whole business model becomes how do we retain people on the Home Team?
Yeah.
And so when he goes there, it's like, okay, we're gonna really refine that customer experience. Booties, we're gonna have trying to get a review after, we're gonna take them a gift on the 4th visit. We're gonna ask for a referral, like all of those little things. And I feel, just based on my very short time meeting you, that's where you're actually gonna shine.
You see that gift over there?
Yeah.
That's a retention
We
gift.
are a
right there.
gift.
Does that say Home Team on it?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness, it's red?
You not
Oh,
seen the
man.
merch closet?
Oh.
Measures too.
You have branded tape measures?
Yeah, like 2 different kinds. Like leaving people with stuff that they. So we're was thinking of like what other little gifts. So we like have the cutting board, like tape measure. Like what are other things that people can actually use?
So you do like a kitchen right now and then leave
Yeah,
a cutting board.
like here's a
that's
cutting
so
board.
smart.
Right.
Yeah, big old wood ones too, so that they like keep.
Or you take this on your initial visit and then you leave it with them. Like here, where you can keep it if you have anything else to measure.
Okay, the Home Team is the brand. It is the 100% the go-to. Like I can totally see that being on the trucks. I see that being wrapped, whether it be red or some other color.
Baseball jerseys.
Yeah.
And the text show up in the jersey looking thing. Yep. You're a part of the Home Team. You know, their first visit, they get a hat that says you're on the Home Team, or like even on social media, again, them holding a sign, we're on the Home Team, the Home Team wins. Like that's our focus.
Yeah.
And that also gets shared a lot on social media. The other part is like social media, we are going to lean into this whole like Home Team thing. Right now, our most valuable customers are coming from referrals of our existing customers. We want to grease the gears of that to happen as much as possible using social media. Instead of depending on someone to go talk to so-and-so at the water cooler at the office, I'm going to take a picture of them with my jersey, with the sign, with the Home Team logo, and I'm going to tag them on social media so all their friends and family see it organically in front of their brand new kitchen or their brand new bathroom that they're really proud of. No one remembers, is it BEC?
Yeah.
No one remembers that.
No one remembers.
Don't be throwing shade.
Is it?
Like, I think the creativity part, I like, from what I've seen so far, you light up when you think customer experience. I just genuinely believe that's where your strength lies. And like that, the visionary versus the operator. Like we are doing 95% of our day operator task when we should be, if we just flip that, the business will do very well, very well. And so when we think about even down the road when it comes to this facility, you would not need this large of a facility or even this kind of office if the technicians in their vans had all they needed for the Home Team. Mm-hmm. We need to keep the projects going, but building out the bench of the subs that we can lean on more. And then you'll also get really good at ironing out the process with them.
Yeah.
Like when are the checkpoints? When do I, that part right now, we've filled all the holes in versus like, how do we actually fix the problem of the system with these subs?
Right.
How much is rent for here?
4,600.
Okay, that is 5, let's just call it 3. Let's say 3 fully equipped vehicles, fully financed. Wrapped in that and 1 or 2 technicians in each, that's all we need. And so if each of those vans are equipped with what they need for the maintenance side, and then you have a process in place to be able to get the subs taking care of everything else, we don't need this space. When I think about sellability, much more appealing to a buyer when I don't have to go rent a massive space.
Yeah.
If you just say, oh yeah, if you want to copy and paste this in Nashville, you just need 10 trucks. And if you do that, and here's the recipe for what you need for the checklist for the quarterly visit, here's the skills that are gonna be required, which is much less because now we don't do the big projects. And then you need one very skilled person to be able to sub out to these people and project manage. And here's how they're gonna project manage these jobs. And you're gonna get 37% margin on all those, by the way. That looks very appealing to a lot of buyers. If the home team is able to focus on their recurring revenue and their subscription model instead of these big one-time projects, they'll be able to move away from needing all of this shop space and this real estate and all this inventory and custom pieces and projects. But more importantly, to do that, we've got to build a bench, a backup, a bunch of different subcontractors that we can tap into so that when big projects come along, we can still sell them to the customer and get our markup and get high profit margin on those jobs. I would send an email and a text message to all of your existing customers saying, hey, here's the package, here's what it includes. By the way, one of the things now is 20% off of all of our prices. So message $750 clients offer. And that offer is sign up for the home team, $99 a month.
2 hours handyman.
Here's all the things you get, and you get 2 hours handyman, $275 value right off the rip. So let's go through our list here. Pricing up by 20%, and then if they do home team, they get the 20% discount. Walkthroughs with Tash, same thing, upselling. Now, I believe that eventually you're gonna sell 90 to 100% of people on the initial. Like, why would they not? It's literally an offer so good they have to be stupid to say no to. But if they don't, you're gonna, on the walkthrough, explain how-
Here's your last chance.
Yeah, exactly. Pricing, we are going to incentivize the home team. So we've already talked about that, from a 20% off in future. So if you're on the home team, all of our services get this discount. You save more just by having this, let alone the fact that we come 4 times a year and do all of these things.
Do all the things you're supposed to be doing.
Great.
Yeah.
Social media, we're really pushing the home team. Branding, logo, the trucks eventually, but like social media, like that swag, for example, that they're holding it up. The sign, you get a corrugated plastic sign, they hold that up after the renovation, you tag them. So what's your Instagram? You tag them on Instagram. That just greases the gears of the amount of people that are gonna come from referrals, which is what we want them to come from. BEC Innovations, if it got sold to an investor, they would rebrand it. The home team creates a bunch of loyalty, a bunch of social media presence, and a brand that people see the trucks and they say, oh yeah, big red truck, says home team on it, looks like they're in jerseys. Like if you guys can dress up in jerseys, let's go.
We have jerseys.
Oh my goodness. Like the fact that, yeah, like it's such a slam dunk.
I need to go grab one.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Like that's social media gold, right? And then I think the building out the subs, that their bench of them in the next 6 weeks would help. Again, I'm just trying to get you to be like, when the recurring starts filling up, you're like, okay, I can cut ties with this real estate. Because if we cut ties with the real estate, you immediately unlock profit. That next year, then it becomes like, how do I market? How do I expand? How do I actually make this happen? Get more trucks, etc.
Right.
But I just need the confidence by having the subs. Oh, that's beautiful. Goodness.
Your gift with purchase.
Oh my goodness, let's go. Imagine you're a customer, you just got a great renovation project completed, and you get this as a gift. This is awesome. I get to wear this in front of social media, post to my Instagram, my Facebook, and all my friends and family get to see it. And I get to hold a sign saying something like the home team won. This is a great promotional offer for the customer to be able to flex in front of their family and friends in a fun manner and get my brand in front of the customers. So they give me more referrals, and those leads that are coming from those referrals right now, they're the highest quality. Let's get more of them. Do you give this to the customer?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Do home teams always wear white, like in baseball?
The home is white.
The home is white, yeah, that's what I thought.
But white for a construction team,
not good.
Not great.
But see, what you could do is they are the home team, like the customer. It's all about the customer.
The hero, yeah.
The hero.
We want them to be the hero.
So they get this.
Yeah.
Your team wears the red ones.
Oh.
So the folks in the red van that says home team on it, they bring me this. I am laughing. I have to make it button down so it's a little bit more like, doesn't matter about the size of the person. Make it button down, you give that to them, put this on, and then they have a red sign that says, I'm on the home team. It'll crush. Absolutely crush. On social media, you do not need to spend money on marketing if you do that.
Having people amplify this themselves sounds really cool, and I think I'm excited to try to figure that out.
I cannot wait to see the rebranding. I'm excited. I know she is. Did she say anything? Did Rusty, have you guys said anything yet?
Leaning heavily into home team, I think, is a great idea. Plus, we already kind of have like the image built in with like the baseball logo and stuff and the jerseys. So I think they're going to be very receptive to it, especially with Paul leading the front.
I've read some of it already. She sent me, oh, what are you talking about, dude? What did I say? I told you. I was like, she texted me a few minutes ago. Let me see. I have to share it. This is going to go on camera. I'm like, let me go through this real quick. And then I went back and looked. There's one thing that I caught, and I was like, that's what's up. The conclusion of everything, right? But it was talking about the commitment, rebranding, pushing the home team, and handyman. That's what's up. That's gonna be cool. Yeah. It's gonna be cool to see everything. I'm so ready for it. She is too.
It is a rebuilding of the business, which can seem very daunting.
Yeah.
I think you already have the parts. I'm not telling you to go make a new logo. You have it.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you to get a jersey. You have the jersey. It's a matter of how do we package this better to the customer, and most importantly, build the business in a way that can be sold.
Yeah.
Because no one wants this business right now.
Yeah.
It just, and I think we can agree on that. Yeah. But we can build it in a way and take elements that we have and just shine those up, polish those, emphasize those, and build a much more recurring revenue model.
How you feel?
I love it. You're hired. No.
So one of the first things that Mike said that we needed to do was raise our price by 20% and then have a discount for home team clients, basically. And we've really not implemented that because so many of our projects are large. Like, we've got a couple $100,000 contracts, and so a 20% discount is tens of thousands of dollars, which is interesting, in exchange for a $1,200 a year maintenance contract. So I think that there is a benefit there, and I think that there is a play there. I don't really know what that answer is yet, but it's something that we're like actively reviewing and checking out. So that's something that we're looking into, but we've not made progress on it. Walkthroughs with Tosh and use that to upsell. So like if he sees that there's a drainage issue, like we want him to bring that up to the client. Like our job is to be an advocate for the client in their home, and a lot of people don't know any better. So he is a great resource. Tosh is a great resource. Social media home team, we are definitely focusing a lot on Paul and home team, especially like we're doing all of our Q3 maintenance right now. And we have had great luck. Also, Paul is such a great person to like focus on with socials because he has so much fun with it. Like we set up our Christmas tree in the office and got one string of lights and draped it around him and got some really cute photos, and he just ate it up. And we use that for like, don't wait until Santa's coming down the chimney to get your like holiday stuff done. So he's been fantastic. He eats this up. He comes in costumes. He has like all the he loves this. He is the perfect person for this. And then building our sub bench, we're always in the lookout for additional subs. We always want to have 3 for each trade. Most of the time, we're looking for 3 for sure, applicable subs. And I think that, this is something that's always going to have to be part of our priorities, especially as our business grows. We're leaning into, on the handyman small project side, we're leaning more into the home team. But as far as like actually rebranding, we're not planning on doing that. We're going to stay Beck Innovations because, the home team feels very small town, bestie, which is great, which is what you want in a handyman company, but that is not who you want doubling the size of your house. You know what I mean? So no matter where you are in your business, whether you're 500,000 or 5 million or 50 million, I think that there is always somebody who can be a resource, who can look at things and spot opportunities that maybe you don't see that can change your life. So I tell everyone to come in with an open mind, come in with an open heart, and take the lashings and then move on about your day.